Yeah, once you know, you know. And when you use your agreement and you return it, you're going to be returning it back to that bank. That's the one
Right.
who's going to be the other member whenever
Right.
you use, your Visa card when you receive
Mhm.
it. So it's going to
Mhm.
go back to them with interest. But in her case, they sent her actual checks for her to go ahead and put the amount and send back, like use.
Whoa. That is so crazy.
I love it. Like I'm looking into U.S. banks, so now I'm like, okay, I need to get my shit right. Let's go ahead and get it popping.
Yeah, US banks is where it's at, I guess.
Like for real, especially after seeing that, like damn. And then on top of that, it says special balance transfer promotion.
Right.
It
Promotion.
was, yep, special. Like let's get
Interesting.
it done.
Balance
So it's
transfer.
cool.
Mhm.
So that is going to be the other member that is associated. So now you have U.S. Bank Cash, Visa Signature, and U.S. Bank National Association. These are going to be the persons that, the between merchants who's going to be dealing with this good with actual knowledge.
Mhm. Mhm.
This is effective as of March 18th, 2024.
Right.
And like up to date as heck. Because
Mhm.
they just introduced clearly, but they like,
Yeah,
look, it's
they must
happening
have updated it. Mhm.
now. And this agreement, you, the individual who owe a debt, or you're the person that we represent, and the other card member. It means each individual accepting a solicitation, an advertisement, a sale, or applying for the account, or otherwise agreeing to be responsible for the account. So
Mhm.
you're either going to agree to be responsible for the account, or you're going to be applying information or applying the account, and you're going to be creating a sale, being an individual that is accepting a card. And then you're going to be returning it. So this yours is going to be whoever that card member, whoever is holding it. Then you is going to be the one to make sure that you as an individual come along and conduct these transactions with that other card member.
Mhm.
So now it's we, us, and our. Now it means U.S. Bank National Association because they're going to be getting it all. Whenever you and yours do their business, then
Right.
they're going to get it. So we are all going to be doing business together. They're
Mhm.
the issuer. So the issuer of the card or the account creditor. So this is who we're dealing with. You're dealing exactly with who you want to be dealing with, the creditor. So we're doing things for the creditor. We're
Mhm.
always doing things buying and selling for the seller's creditor. It's the bank that's going to be the
Mhm.
one who's going to be receiving it. It's not U.S. Bank who you may believe that's who we in business with. It's U.S. National Association.
Right.
That's the creditor.
Right.
Please read this agreement carefully
Mhm.
and keep it in a safe place to make the best use of your credit cards
Right.
we issue with this account. And then they have in parentheses conspicuously the card
Right.
because the agreement is going to be an account that has a card attached. And they're going to issue you this card so that you read it carefully. You take ordinary care of it. So read this agreement so that you be able to make the best decision with the cards, both of them, that they issue you.
Mhm. Right. The account. Mhm.
Yes.
The Carter account.
And you can do this online.
Mm.
Exactly how I just did my Navy Federal.
That's so
And that's
cool.
why I just told Shauna. So that's why I feel like, she like, oh shit. And then she read it for herself. So it was cool just to see where she wanted to be this whole time.
Mhm.
Now, so this agreement, it becomes effective as soon as you or someone authorized by you uses or activate the card or the account. So we want to make sure we use the card and activate the account by putting our authorization or giving our authorization. That means we're identifying it so that that agreement becomes effective. We have to. We're going to activate it by giving our authorization. Whenever we think about the word authorized, we automatically want to go back to Article 1 of the code where they speak about money because
Mhm.
money is the medium of exchange that is authorized in domestic and foreign government. So this is what we're authorizing each and every time we accept the account as it comes. Each and every time we use that account and apply.
Right.
Give our authorization, identify it. Um, Even if the card or account has not been used or activated, this agreement becomes effective unless you contact us within 30 days after you receive the card by calling the number on the back of the card to cancel your account. So
Mhm.
whenever we're dealing with our account, we're canceling that account. And we're going to be making sure that we send back the number. We're going to be addressing them. So that means on that card, you're going to be adding your own number within 30 days and contacting them so that it can become effective and that a card can be activated.
Mhm.
So that means there's going to be some additions whenever we add this number. So in addition to this agreement, there are also relevant account disclosures on your card carrier.
Mm.
Because the carrier that we're dealing with, they want to have that card. That means that we have to make sure whatever we add in addition meets the rate of that carrier. Remember Article 2?
Right.
This is the necessary relevant information that they need. So as a buyer, you are only upheld to good faith and making sure that you pay the contract rate. That is the additional information that they're going to need on the account whenever you use the card so that they can cancel whatever previously was sent, close the account.
Mhm.
It's all going to depend on the number that they receive. That's going to be the credit number. That's what's going to be used to activate that card. So then, bold and conspicuously, they say this agreement contains an arbitration provision. This is including a class action arbitration waiver, where they waive the right to come along and take action and fill in that price for you. You have to come along and make the decision with them, arbitrate with them, let them
Right.
see. It is important that you read the entire arbitration provisions section very carefully because these damages that you find and that you see, you should hold me harmless of them. Your account has features so that you can use the account. Hold me harmless of that. Show me that there has been a breach. We have to do
Right.
this together and allow for me to commercially judge this item.
Yeah, and they're saying it's between us, you know.
It's between us, right? So, what's your thoughts just about that agreement that y'all have whenever you receive this bill? Because when you receive it, we're going to do exactly what they're saying here.
Right. We're gonna add their rate according to what the carrier's disclosures say, and they give all that
Exactly.
information. Mm-hmm.
That's that pricing chart above.
Right.
So we're gonna make sure that when we look at that bill, we see the rates. What is the cash advances? What is the purchases? What is the, whatever we agree to here. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like we don't have to guess. They're gonna tell us.
Yeah.
Literally. So I feel like this was really great because too, when you think about carrier, it automatically takes you to Article 7. I don't know how familiar you are with Article 7, but
Mm-mm.
Article 7, it speaks to you and talks to you about documents of title. So they're really hoping that you use the account disclosure so that you return the document of title to them. The
Right.
document of title must include that additional information. So that's cool to see that, that's what they're wanting back. And they're really blunt. Like this is so up to date that this is like almost amazing at how they updated the words. They threw creditor in, they threw carrier in. They must
Yeah.
realize.
Yeah. And I think because more and more people are fighting them on it as
Yeah,
opposed to doing it the way that has been laid out, that they're probably just like,
1000%.
yeah, like we gotta really cover our butts, for
Yeah,
the more
because look,
aggressive people.
they was more specific in using the term individual.
Right.
This automatically takes you back to Article 2, where it comes to notice and knowledge, Section F, where they speak about the individual conducting the transaction having actual knowledge. They're talking to us.
Right.
There's something that we have to do as an individual because they waive their right to do it. They want us to do it together.
Right. And even
So
start right there.
this update was everything.
Mhm.
Then they
Yeah,
talking
this
about
is definitely different
solicitation.
than the last one.
Okay, good, because you had it. You read that
Well,
one?
well, I looked online, like the U.S. Bank Visa signature, and I found it from the CFPB, like
Mm-hmm.
like before when I first started taking your classes, like the first class I took, I think it was your consumer credit. So I looked up then and I found it, and the agreement was different. So when I contacted them, I said I wanted an updated agreement. What's my actual one? Then they sent me this one that was just updated. So.
This is like amazing,
Yeah.
like way,
Yeah.
way better. And you're definitely right on why.
Hmm.
Like literally.
I know, even
Um,
just browsing it, I was like, okay, they really break it down, like even how the interest is applied too, you know?
man,
Same
I
with the
love it.
platinum or the gold card that I got with American Express. The
Mhm.
agreement is like 1,000 times more detailed and very specific about the interest and everything. So I was just like
That's
kind of
because
blown away, like how they give you more information as you get up into like the better cards or whatever.
yes, and that's because they straight up hoping that you do this within those 30 days.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you do it within the 30 days, then they'll get it done within 60.
Mm-hmm.
Fast
Mm-hmm.
money. So it's good.
Right.
Oh, Brittany, I would want
So
that.
excited.
Man. So they know that there is going to be something wrong. They know that the good isn't going to be suitable for the carrier because the card is not going to have the relevant account disclosure information on it, which is this agreement that we're creating. And they're hoping that we come along and, do it together, allow for them to commercially judge the good. Like, don't go suing me for something that, is wrong in the manufacturing or something that is meant for a carrier,
Mm-hmm.
something that is meant for someone in a foreign jurisdiction.
Right.
So they put features on the account. And it's the use of the actual account. So you can use the actual account so that you can process this card.
Mm-hmm.
So the features on this account is for one, two, three, for a few different purposes, about seven of them.
Right.
So,
No family and
one,
household. We know what that means.
I swear to God,
You know
they
what I'm
straight up
saying?
like personal use. Like, come on, come on.
And personal means business too. Did you know that?
Yes, I did because I look at the autonomy of the word, and we want
Right?
to do that. And this is the flip side of it because once we return it and use that feature, they're going to be using it for business use,
Uh-huh.
business purposes. We're
Exactly.
using the account for the individual purposes. That's why they mentioned this above.
Yep.
So, man, personal use. Take the AL off. It's a
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
use. But you could use the account only for personal, family, or household purposes. Federal
Mhm.
or state consumer protection laws may not apply if you use the account for anything other than personal, family, and household purposes because you're going to be paying with an FRN, so you don't need any type of consumer protection. If you're dealing
Right.
with consumer protection, then you're dealing with using the features on your account and you're transacting using credit.
Mm-hmm.
Federal laws apply. That means that you're going to be making purchases.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you receive your bill, you 100% is going to see a purchase percentage rate because they're going to purchase whatever price however much you swipe publicly, that's what they're going to purchase. So you're going to get it with purchases. And then they're going to hope that you come along and conduct another purchase for personal use. Because whenever you receive the bill, it's sent to you for the buyer's use, and we use our personal property.
Right.
So we're making these purchases. So, and they will too. We should do it together. That's what we agreed to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they want us to read this carefully. So you may use the account to buy, lease, or otherwise obtain goods or services from participating merchants. This is including transactions you initiate by mail, telephone, or over the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Or take advantage of special promotional balance transfer offers that post as purchase transactions. So whenever my Navy Federal,
Mm-hmm.
I think I still might have this up. It purchased as right here. I purchased and they purchased. So it went to transfer and check because we both participated together. So
Right.
before I made my purchase, only they did. So when you look at this bill, it was only one purchase made and it was by them. I hadn't yet came along and made a purchase.
Okay.
This was the first bill. So I did 57.72.
Mm-hmm.
So I transferred that balance. When I did that, it shows in my payments and credits, my balance transfer for that amount using that card and the interest adjustment that was made.
Okay. Interesting.
So now They want me to do it again. Now they only made a purchase of the balance. Now they want me to come along and do it again.
Right.
So you do this every single month. And this is the exact same thing that they advertising that you do. Because when you do that, it's gonna post on the account just like my account as a purchase. This is whenever you take advantage of special promotions. That means that you transfer a balance. You accept that balance and you transfer it back. I did it over the internet. I did it online, but you can do it on telephone or by mail with the participating merchants. That means we're acting in good faith. This is the service that they provide to us.
And then
Whenever
it's
we come
update that
along,
next bill
yeah. So
reflect.
yeah, on the next two, really. So let's see. Because it's going to show what's happening. They're going to keep updating the account, showing and telling you what's happening as the transactions is going on. So this is in February. This is the bill that I received that I transferred the balance on, just like how they're talking about here.
Right.
I did 57.72. So this is just the bill. So right now it's looking like this. See my payments and credits. I
Mm-hmm.
made some payments and they have interest charged, no fees yet because I hadn't did anything. I just not about to transfer the balance. So they only have purchases and cash advances. They purchased already. They
Right.
did it without me. So
Right.
they have the percentage and the price and the percentage and the price for that. Purchase and balance transfer. Now once I come along and I purchase, you're gonna see this shift.
Right.
So this is February. I went ahead and conducted it. So let's find March. I can't believe they stayed up this whole time.
Right. It's just so interesting how it reflects too.
Man, yes, it's everything. Okay, so now this is March. So when you come back down here and you look at my transactions, you see I made a mistake and did these, so we just ignore these, but you see all the transactions that I made. And you see that the transactions using this card, you see all
Mm-hmm.
my transactions from February. I did it February 9th and it posted on the 12th to the account. So they showing the balance transfer that I used and conducted with that bill for 57.72. That's the one that I
Okay.
did in
Yeah.
February. so now so now you see the fees is added, and not just interest charged, but also fees. So here's
Right.
where you will see the same day they got it, the same day the transaction happened was the same day it
Right.
was credited. So
Return
now
check fee.
yeah, so now they got the payment return check fee there because I actually paid the fees. And now interest was charged
Yes.
for a balance transfer check and a cash advance.
Yep. Oh my
So now the
goodness.
fee that's charged is the minimum payment, and your minimum payment would never change. It's going to reflect on each and every bill, no matter how many purchases you make.
Right.
So now when you look in the calculation interest charge, no more purchases because I purchased and they purchased. So now it changes. Now it's a
Mhm.
percentage rate for the balance transfer and the convenience check and a balance transfer or percentage for the cash event. So it
Right.
changed.
Right.
Purchases was made, repayment plan got. So this is March. So now you're looking at April.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so this is April.
Okay.
And the same is going to remain. It's not going to change. It doesn't matter how much my balance is. This
Right.
is not going to change if you pay this way
Mm-hmm.
because they're going to use that amount, those fees, to generate your next bill,
Right.
your next statement. Um,
And
So before they had it listed down in my transactions for that month. Now they have it posted as the transaction because they was credited. So they showed the day that I conducted the balance transfer, which was February 9th. They actually accepted and posted it March 28th, 57.72. So
okay.
on March 3rd through the 28th, when they was credited the exact same day that they received it, they charged interest for the adjustment. So now this
Okay.
is posted in my payments and credits because I use that
Right.
payment
Right.
credit. And that's what they're hoping that you do in this agreement. This is what they're talking about here. And then now, when you come down, it reset. No more fees is charged. Now it's just interest. They're waiting on me to come along and do it again. So now they're showing me the interest that was charged for purchases and cash advances. And my still fee remains. And they hope that I come along and purchase so that this switches again.
Wow. Yep.
So how you feel with the accounting background that you have with seeing that, and how they gonna do it? And look, purchases. This is what they want you to do. And this
Right.
is new. This is 2024.
It's
I just did it.
crazy.
But
I mean, it makes so much sense now. They're like literally like just telling you again and again, you know, do it,
man,
this way,
yes.
do it. But yeah,
Like,
unless you've dug into the laws and read the definitions and really got the clarity, you're not gonna know this stuff.
it's gonna be kind of difficult, and that's what they said in the law. People gonna have difficulties, even
Yeah,
though it's right there.
it's right there. That's so crazy how it is reflected in the next two statements. While they make
Yes.
their assessments, they make sure everybody got credited correctly. Like they update you. I like that.
Yeah, they update all of the participating
Yep.
merchants, and then they let
Yeah.
us know, what's going on. If we
Yeah.
took advantage of this special promotional balance. So that means that just like, the code told us during the promotional period, we need to go ahead and accept, or help promote
Right.
their sale. Help,
Right.
because they let us know above about solicitation, sales.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Interesting.
they want us to do this. They really do. It's not, and I
Gladly.
remember. Yeah, when I first started getting remedy, I started feeling bad, like, dang, I feel like I'm cheating them or something. You know what I'm saying? But then I
Right?
started to get
Yeah.
more into it, and I'm like, okay, I'm not. They want this. It's just commerce. Okay,
They're
cool.
getting their money too. They're definitely getting
Yeah,
theirs.
most definitely, because I think they got like $32 and some change from that, which
Well,
was
yeah,
way
they
more
get
than the
6%
minimum
to
payment.
it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they happy.
They're happy. Yeah, exactly.
So we will, in connection with any promotional offer we make from time to time, provide information on your card carrier or in additional materials, the offer materials that explain where those transactions will post and be treated as a purchase. So wherever we see this material disclosure on that document, we need to come along and add material information. We need to add additional information onto that card. We need to provide that to them. And we're
Mm-hmm.
going to be doing that from time to time, monthly. And it's going to be posting just like it was just posting to my account. You're going to be seeing that.
Right.
Even if you have not signed a sales draft, I cannot believe they just said that. What is people thinking when they read this? They cannot be thinking about their credit card. What is they thinking about?
I have no
Because did
idea
you
what
see what
they're,
they
I
just
mean, to be quite honest, like I never read this. And if I would have read it before, it would have just went over my head. You know what I mean?
Wow, Brittany. I'm
Seriously
like,
though.
listen,
Now
they
when I
talking.
know what a draft is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we know these sales, they said solicitation, but here they go clarifying it even more. And yeah,
Right.
draft, like,
Right.
listen, wow. I don't know what they could be thinking about. What?
And it says
Okay.
we're responsible for the purchase.
Yeah.
Like we're supposed to be, even if we don't sign the draft, we're still responsible.
And that's why I'm having these series. You are responsible,
Yep.
period. Y'all need to
Yeah.
understand that
Yeah.
there's no way you can read this and think about anything
We're
else.
pretty
Like,
much
I don't,
implying too, if you do sign the sales draft, you're also responsible, but that was your responsibility, you know?
period. That's your
Right.
obligation. That's
Yeah.
what you're limited to. You must express that.
Yeah.
It's because of your billing rights. So whenever we're dealing with our billing rights, we're dealing with credit transactions. And this is what series 3 is going to be all about, getting people ready to be responsible. And that's why I had this series. So when we get in Houston and we get to talking about this sales drive, everybody know that we're talking about purchases and agreements, and we about to continue doing this exact same thing, whether we initiate it by mail, online, or over the phone. Simple. And it's going to have those reflections just like Navy Federal did,
Right.
if you give them written receipt or
And that's
other proof of the
literally
sale.
their
So
job.
let
That is
me,
literally their
right,
job too.
man, it has to be in writing. It has to be in written and writing terms to prove the sale. If it is not written and writing, you haven't preserved the evidence. You have
Right.
not expressed your intent.
Right.
You have
And you
not
didn't
expressed,
know
or
that
you
that
will
was
not receive any credit, because there's not an individual who came along and signed it with their handwriting.
right. Right. Give them
Got
permission, to release those funds.
authorize it 100%. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know how or what purchase anybody else could think they talking about.
Right. It's tricky. They trick you about like your purchases, what you're buying, like at the
They
market.
play,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
man, but definitely you are responsible.
Mm-hmm.
And all these months of training get you up to be responsible.
Right. And I'm ready. I'm responsible.
Man, it's so easy. That's what they're gonna have. That's what they want. So this is what you saw on that Navy Federal where it had balance transfer slash convenience checks because I
Yep.
conducted the balance transfer and they saw that as an advance and they had a convenience check.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the posting update. So convenience checks. From time to time, they keep talking about time to
Right.
time.
Every once in a while. Come on.
We may supply convenience checks for use by the persons or jar named on those checks.
Mm,
And our name on it, National Bank, US National Bank, for her to use a true convenience check. They sent her the actual check, just like how our banks look, just like what
wow.
everybody want to see. Besides looking at our bill like that, they sent her the checks to see it that way,
Res-
literally. So this agreement, they want this for you. They want this to happen.
Right.
So convenience checks, it may not be offered for all account types because it's not going to be offered for all account types. They literally gave her three. They just promoted her 3 times and gave her three complimentary ones. Those
Right.
account types is going to then change after that because she's going to be using her bill now.
Right.
So people hate that two different looks because it's hard for them to decipher or decide that it is a check in the draft. Like, but look,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. It's just a different offered account type. That's all.
Yeah.
Whether the convenience check will post or be treated as an advance or
Okay.
as a balance transfer.
It even said too about drawn on available credit.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Like, can you believe they said this?
I can't believe they say it. I mean, like now I can because they have to now, but like
But it's just like, wow.
it is wow. It's totally wow.
Like, this is everything we've been learning about law. This is everything that, you just saw with mines. And this
Right.
is a non-cash payment route,
Right.
literally.
Right. It's exciting.
Man, so convenience checks, it must be written in US dollars. We may return a convenience check unpaid if the credit available under your revolve limit is less than the convenience check amount. The account is in default, or the convenience check is improperly endorsed, or otherwise fails to conform to our regular accepted terms of the check. So whenever we receive that payment, they have regular standard form. That means they're going to have things written on it. We're going to be coming along and properly endorsing it by putting our writing on it. If we don't
Right.
do that, then we default on the account and there will be no credit available.
Right.
And whatever amount we come along and put with our writing, with our hand, it has to be more than whatever was transferred to us.
And conform to their standards. So that would be probably like
Period.
here's our APR rates.
Exactly. They need a contract conforming good.
Right.
Period. And then they'll service you.
Mm-hmm.
Convenience checks, it may not be used to pay your account or any obligation you owe us or our affiliates if you don't meet the above criteria. Period. It's not going to happen. So if you
Right.
come along and you endorse with an EN, meaning that you imprint or fix something on that document that was already given in a standard form, it's improper. You have to use your handwriting. Things are going to be in written and writing terms.
Right.
It's already going to be coming to you written in US dollars. So you're going to have a dollar sign. What you put after must be in writing. This is how you endorse with an IN. That's the proper way.
Mm-hmm.
And then you won't have any stop payments. You know what I'm saying? They'll have a convenience check instead. If not, they'll stop the payment. They will reverse it and close the account because you wasn't paying properly. You
Right.
paid improper. They're automatically going to send you an improper delivery. We have to come along and make it proper, make that good conform and send it back.
Mm-hmm.
So how you feeling? What's your thoughts about that? Because you a default. What you thinking?
So exciting. I just love it now. Now I'm like, I don't know, I'm so excited. Like I also signed a promissory note security agreement for buying that a business now. I just
Hmm.
put it in yesterday and there were a lot of different warranties in there that were letting me know that I am going to be able to poop on it. You know what I mean? And so I was like pointing out to Pravir, like when we were signing, I was like, underlining some words and I'm like, all of these things are letting me know that I will be able to coop on this. You know what I mean?
Man, we can
Crazy.
do it all.
I felt so
Everything is,
knowledgeable. I was like, oh, this is so exciting.
yes, everything is credit transaction.
Right.
Everything,
It's crazy.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know.
then crazy, I didn't even read this, but just browsing through, look at what they're talking about. Incidental damages, consequential damages,
Right, right.
good
Faith,
faith. Oh
good
my
faith.
God.
Hmm.
So this is all the
Exactly.
stuff that we covered in Article 2.
Yeah.
So 6, paying, and this is why, we did cover it, so that we can do it right,
Hmm. Hmm.
proper, and not just rush straight to it and y'all have no clue. You got to do this every month. You have to do this from time to time.
Exactly. And you have to know what you're doing.
Yes. So paying information,
Yeah.
confirming the credits, just like you saw online.
Right. Well, in the laws too, it did say they are
Sure
obligated
did.
to stop the payment until they get that signature.
Sure did.
Did.
Any written stop payment request we receive will remain in effect for 6 months unless you renew the request in writing
Hmm.
before the end of that time. So that means that you must put your writing on that written document. Whatever they sent to you, that prior written consent, you give your confirmation by putting your writing on it,
Hmm.
not affixing the exact same thing, or they're going to be stopping it. You're going to be in default. It's improper because you endorse like them when you're supposed to do the opposite. You're supposed to put your writing.
Right.
If you do that, then if you do that before the time ends, then we may pay convenience checks more than 6 months old. So they're like, come on, they running they shit. They like we can run it up.
Yeah,
So
they can go and do it for up to 6 months, you said.
yeah, yeah, this is the sixth consecutive, times.
Yep. Okay.
There may be circumstances under which a convenience check must be paid, even if we have received a stop payment request from you. So it has to be paid regardless. They're going to be getting it regardless. They just hope that when you receive it, you make the request of them in writing to stop that payment under our circumstance, each and
Right.
every one from time to time.
Hmm.
We would not be liable to you because you are responsible.
Right.
So we're not going to be liable to you, and we do if we do not honor your stop payment request under those circumstances because we have to come along and honor the good. We
Hmm.
must do that. So if it is determined that a convenience check should have been paid, because we're going to give them the price that should have been paid, that they could have had. So that means we're adding that price. But
Hmm.
it was not. We would not be liable for any consequential, punitive, or incidental damages if we acted in good faith. They're always going to act in good faith. They're going to be accepting their good and putting their price, and they're going to be showing you what was paid. They're going to be sending it to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are
They're gonna get
responsible.
theirs no matter what, whether you know what you're doing or not.
That's what they should have said.
And I would be doing that too if I was them, if that was, within my.
Right, I swear, because you have to do this. This is commerce. This is what we promised to do.
Yep.
So they're like, our only obligation under those circumstances will be to pay the designated payee the amount of the convenience check and cancel any charges that was assessed against your account as a result of any wrongful failure to honor the convenience check. So
Hmm.
whenever you receive it and they see that they failed to honor it, or vice versa, then they'll come along and they'll cancel. They're gonna give that payee what they would have had. They're gonna cover it all under those circumstances. But they only give you the amount, or responsible for giving you the amount that was paid to them. Any wrongful acts, we have to come along and do that. It's your account. So
Hmm.
whenever they're dealing with that account and it's theirs, they want to make sure that everything is covered. And they'll get it over to the participating merchant. And then those incidental damages covers everything else.
Right. Right. All the fees, everything.
Exactly. So this is us strictly speaking to Article 2 yet again.
Yeah.
5, 6, and
Yep. Words matter.
man, words
They
definitely
do.
matter.
They really do. We're both damaged here. And the fact that
Mhm.
they chose those specific words, like it's so crazy.
Yes, and they're like, look, just arbitrate with me. Don't come after me. Like, let's work this out together.
Right. Just give us
It's
the
for a
rate we
reason.
asked for.
Right. It's for you to use.
Yeah. Wow.
So balance transfers. We may